Guys, been checking around what's been happening lately about this whole foreign accusation, or let's just call it the beef between the Zulus and foreigners. Right? I've been watching some videos lately, and I point out that they're mostly targeting the Nigerians, right? So I just want to put my point of view out there about this whole situation, right? I'm not taking sides of anybody here, but I'm gonna try and speak the honest truth, right? To my Nigerian brothers, at some point as well, y'all are fucking up. Truth be said, y'all are fucking up. Why? Looking at what you guys do in the country, right? I'm not finger pointing at, it's not everyone. I cannot generalize every Nigerian in South Africa for doing illegal shit. But that being said, majority do illegal shit, right? Whether it's drug, prostitution, it's really, you guys are not contributing much to the upliftment of the country that you're in, right? If we talk about Pan-Africa, we have to contribute to each and every country's growth. Whether you're there as a foreigner or immigrant, you have to somehow contribute to the development and progression of the nation. Understood? Right? You cannot invade someone else's home, right? And think that they will see you pissing in the corners of their household. It doesn't work like that, right? If the reputation that Nigerian men came to South Africa and were uplifting South Africans in terms of job creation, because obviously we business minded, a lot of us African men are business minded. If we were contributing to the nation's growth in terms of job creation, youth development, skill program, I doubt the Zulu King would have had an issue. But as a leader as well, he has to look. He's looking at what's benefiting his people, and he's saying that a lot of Zulu girls are out there prostituting themselves. We're not finger pointing at it's only Nigerians. Sometimes, we're not. I'm gonna get to that. Drugs being moved in their land. Junkies are out there, left, right, and center. So somehow, if they processed everything right, and they're thinking now, okay, what's the root of this issue? And finger points back who? We'll talk about Congolese men. Congolese men are also in South Africa, but why are they not always targeted? By whenever this foreign attack comes, I've hardly hear that Congolese men are bad. No, the one thing, I'm Congolese, right? The one thing about us Congolese is that we are very respectful, right? And educated. That's the other word that we stand out as Congolese men, educated, and we have principles, right? It's hard for you to see a Congolese man doing drug dealing, or resorting to any criminal activities and such. No, we business-minded people. It's either those that were unable to further their education would be doing hard labor work, securities out there, being bouncers out there, at one point it's also contributing to the development of the country. They're raising families out here, and also you tend to see Congolese kids that grew up in South Africa get along very well with the natives themselves. I, for example, I am engaged to a beautiful South African Xhosa woman that I love dearly. I grew up here in South Africa. I've seen the opportunities that has been given to me by this nation, and some I've always thrived to also contribute to the development of the nation with whatever I can contribute towards. Whether it's me working for the NGOs doing fundraising to help kids in impoverished communities with better education, whatsoever you could do, you have to add on. If you're gonna call this your home, do something, that contributes to society, not demolishing. And to the South African brethren, I understand you are enraged. Enough is enough at some point. You understand? But as Africans, let us not shed blood. As Africans, let us not shed blood. If there is any chance to reason this out, as that the government should be implicit in this, if that's a word, because English bundles is kind of expiring. The government should take the stand on this and start assuring that the right people do enter the country. Whether it's through border patrol, border check, security check, visa checking. Let the government do their part as well. Otherwise, it's times like this when the people are fed up of the government not doing their work. They start taking matters into their own hands. And mob justice never works, because at the end of the day, the wrong people will be affected. The wrong people will be targeted, and it will be generalized that every foreigner somehow is doing something bad in the country. You understand? Also, me speaking now of the African countries that are normally in South Africa, let me talk to my Zimbabwean brothers as well. You guys, like, there's that video that I saw on Facebook of this Zimbabwean manager making workers cut grass. Imagine the audacity. First of all, where is your humanity in that? Where's your humanity? Like, you have been given a position of authority, right? And your excuse is because that they are lazy, and you're gonna make them do something that's not part of the job criteria. Like, what the hell? Like literally, Zimbabwe and South Africa are neighboring countries. Y'all should be working hand in hand. Maybe it could be beneficial for both countries if you guys worked hand in hand. So yeah, guys, let's just, as us foreigners and from other African countries, I feel like we have to be held accountable as well to do our part, in the development of this nation, because it somehow is unfair, bro. I'm seeing it from their point of view. It is somehow unfair, when they look at their children not being given a spot in the classroom, but your child is given that position. I'm not trying to start up a racial thing out here, but also to my black South Africans, going back, before attacking your black brethren, why are you leaving the other race out of the equation? It's not to say that white people also come in South Africa illegally, right? Here's my question, right? Between a foreign white individual, right? Let's say, I'm gonna put this in this equation, applying for a school, and a South African black child applying for a school. Who do you think they would take most likely? This is now, will they not take the white kid firstly? Right? So it's not just that. The government has to stop being corrupt. Like, institutes have to stop being corrupt, where they prioritize developing the youth, educate the youth, not exposing the youth to things that will destroy them, like for example, alcohol, alcohol. Like how it's if we're looking at statistics, we could probably say 70% of the youth in South Africa are alcoholics. I drink alcohol too, but yeah, yeah. I know when there's a limit. We all enjoy a good drink at the end of the day, but at some point, it's just become what the youth want to do. It's literally at that, like the youth just wants to drink, party, and get lit. What about government making it possible for them to have recreative activities that allows them to tap into the deeper potential? Think about that. That is just my point of view. Yeah, I'm just trying to spread all love, make people see each side of the story. Tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, but guys, let's spread peace and love.